Welcome everyone to Old Roommates. Today on the show, we revisit the 1976 made-for-TV movie starring John Travolta, The Boy in the Plastic Bubble. So get out your spacesuit and hop on a horse for a jaunty little ride. The episode is about to begin.
Hey everybody, welcome to Old Roommates, the only podcast that revisits pop culture through a middle-aged lens. This is Brian.
And this is Christina.
And today we are revisiting The Boy in the Plastic Bubble, that iconic John Travolta TV movie from November 1st, 1976. We begin, as we always do, by talking about then, Christina, when was the first time you saw The Boy in the Plastic Bubble?
Brian, I am so glad you asked.
Oh, good.
I don't remember the first time.
Okay.
But I will tell you, this movie was such a staple in my life as a preteen girl.
Ooh.
It came out in 76. I was 9 years old. I feel like it was on TV every year. I feel like it was on TV quite often. I think I watched it every single time. I watched it with my sisters. I loved this movie so much. I wanted to live in that big plastic bubble house.
With him?
I didn't even care if it was with him or not. I thought it was the coolest thing that he had his own kitchen. He had his own little apartment.
Yeah, truly, yeah.
His own kitchen, his own living room or whatever. It looked like the coolest thing. I remember so vividly that moment of him standing at that line and taking that step. I remember so much of this movie, and I loved it. I loved it. I've thought about it over the years.
Wow. I'm
telling you, it was a life-changing movie for me.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was okay. What about you, Brian?
I mean, it is that, it's so iconic, and I stand behind that word. This was, the movie.
The movie.
Everyone, I remember, I don't honestly remember the first time I saw this. I was a little kid.
You were 5.
Little kid. I was probably 4. Yeah, at this point, I was 4. Yeah, I was 4 years old. But I don't think but it was one of those things that was shown a lot.
I know. Because I've mentioned it to people, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't know how we saw it, but it was. I feel like we saw it a lot."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah."
And it is a TV movie, and so I think it was one of those things that they showed it every so often, and I think probably what happened is that with John Travolta becoming a huge success on Welcome Back, Kotter, it probably became more and more,
and
showed.
Grease and
Grease. Oh my God, yeah, Grease. Yeah, Grease was 2 years after that. So they probably just kept reintroducing it to new audiences.
Sure.
But I was young, remembered it so vividly. I didn't remember the end. I kind of misremembered the end, to be honest.
Interesting. Okay.
If we're jumping into the revisit now, but I used, I remember just being a little kid and thinking, this is so sad. Everything is sad. This is sad. I am so lucky to be alive.
Interesting. That is so interesting.
I took it as be grateful, you little shit. That's what I took it as.
Yeah.
And that was my big takeaway. But so when did you rewatch it?
So I was really looking forward to watching this. So I actually watched it a couple of days ago.
Oh.
And because I wanted to have the perfect time to do it. You know what I mean? I didn't want to feel rushed. I didn't want to watch it in pieces. I tried to get my husband and daughter to watch it with me, but they were not having it. Oh. Although Matt walked through the living room a couple of times and he stopped.
Yeah.
So he watched bits and pieces of it with me. But I just watched it a couple of days ago, and it was so fun to put this on, because first of all, the quality was so bad. Did you get this from the library?
The quality is atrocious.
I swear to God, I feel like someone took an old video camera and recorded it from a TV.
Yeah.
And then put it on a DVD. The quality is horrendous.
It's bad. Yeah.
But it was still like so funny just to see. It is so 70s. Robert Reed is in it, who I totally forgot was in it.
I totally
He's
forgot it was
the dad,
him. Yeah.
Mr. Brady,
Yeah.
all of those. And Diana Hyland.
From Eight is Enough.
From Eight is Enough, who, and you might have this in your trivia, this is the beginning of John Travolta's relationship with Diana Hyland.
Yes.
And it continued for like 6 months until she died.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's a little bit of
He's,
trivia.
you know, when you think about that, he's had a lot of loss. I mean, like, he, you know, I mean, not that he was involved with Olivia Newton-John, but they were very close friends. Like, he lost Olivia, you know, lost Diana Hyland or Diana Hyland?
Diana
Hyland. And she won, I believe she won an Emmy for this, Best Supporting for
kidding.
a TV movie. And she was posthumously, though. I don't know if he accepted the award for her. But, and then, of course, Kelly Preston later on. And his son. I mean, he's had a lot.
So has anybody ever really looked into this?
Christina,
I'm just curious because it does seem like a lot of coincidence. I don't know.
You're going to hell.
It's
so
a question.
bad.
And nobody else has saw this before?
My God.
So anyway, I put it on.
I will say, you know what? I'll defend you because if we were talking about a woman with many dead husbands,
it's Black Widow.
Black Widow, absolute Black Widow.
Yep, you're right.
So all that.
So
to
anyway,
say.
so I turned
but
it on.
let's leave my mom out of this.
Oh my God, sorry. D, I would not have even brought you up.
All right, so this takes place in 19. Yes, let's talk about the revisit. I watched this. It's hilarious. So we talked about revisiting this, and I put it on in my library queue because it's the only way you can watch this. The only way you can get it is
and
the quality is atrocious, but we do what we do for this podcast.
We do.
And I was like, submit, ping. It was already there. So
of
great.
Of course, no one has it out.
No one's watching this thing. But so I watched it like probably 2 weeks ago, and I had to pause it like 95,000 times for a few different reasons. One was some of it was laughter. Some of it was like I couldn't believe what I was watching, and some of it was like I have to take a page of notes right now. There's a lot. This was a very efficient movie.
It sure was.
Holy shit! This movie is like what was it? Is it even 90 minutes long?
I believe it's about
like
91 or something.
Yeah, and then add a bunch of commercials. But right off the bat, I'm just going to call him Dr. Blunt.
Oh my God.
Ralph Bellamy. I actually wish we were watching it together.
That would have been great to watch together
because we would have been laughing our asses off.
He's a riot.
The first scene, by the way, God bless the mom, because she's always doing yard work and fixing up the house.
Yeah, that's all she did. All the 70s. Wait,
did they even have, like, you never saw the inside of their house? Oh, you saw where he is.
Right, and you see a flash of their bedroom at the very end.
Oh, right, yeah.
But that's it.
Yep. Hilarious. And so they're doing yard work as they do. And Dr. Blunt, not his real name, pulls up and you see 1959, The Boy in the Plastic Bubble. And then he pulls up, rolls his window down. He barely stops the car.
Right.
And he goes, "The tests are in. You're pregnant." I'm like, what the hell? Like, is there no HIPAA? There's no, like,
There's no HIPAA back then.
I was like, "Excuse me, doctor, can you say it louder? I don't think 1960 heard you." Like, oh my God. Like, he was so blunt and rude.
Yes, and you find out that the woman and mother it's not happy news.
It's not happy news.
She's upset about this.
Yep.
And he knows her history. She's had several miscarriages.
It's so messed up.
It's like, dude, read the room.
She is truly afraid to have a baby.
Yes, she's afraid to have a baby. She's afraid. And did she have, so she had several miscarriages.
Yeah.
Did she have, it kind of alluded to the fact that she did give birth to one.
And that it didn't.
Because she ends up giving birth to Todd, Mr. Brady, I'm going to call him, the father. He says, or someone says, he has the same condition.
You're right. You're
right.
So
it makes you feel like, I don't know if they ever actually said that she gave birth to one, but if it made you feel like she had one that died right away, like a stillborn or something.
Yes, yeah.
But, oh my gosh, yeah, you're so right. But you would think that he would be a little bit more sensitive to be like, look, we have the news.
It blew my mind because you don't know that at first. Mm-hmm. But even still, Christina, He rolls his
yelling
window.
it down in the neighborhood.
He barely slowed the car down. Like he was so loud. Like the neighbors would have heard that.
Yes.
Like, and then when you find out that this isn't really good news, you're like, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
So then, Mr. Subtle, they do it in the Operation Theater. So there's one of those rooms where everyone's
wait, one second. I do have one conversation that they had because she's clearly upset. Her name's Gina.
Okay. No, that's the friend. That's the girlfriend.
Gina's you're right. Oh my God, you're right. You're right. I don't have Diana's name. So sorry. You're right. So she said, she's clearly upset, and Mr. Robert Reed, who, by the way, is billed as a special guest. Did you notice that? No. Special guest, Robert Reed. I'm like, is he in it for like 5 minutes? No, he's in it through the whole movie, but they billed him as special guest.
I don't know why movies do that.
I don't either. He says, honey, it's okay. The odds are 4-1. And I wrote, are those good odds? Like, are you kidding? Like, you're saying this as a way to comfort her? So I just sort of laughed. And, I just wanted to add, too, that the executive producer is Aaron Spelling, which I had no idea about. Yeah. That's, like, crazy to me.
Well, it's the same director of Grease?
Is it? I don't know.
Randall Kaiser? Is that?
Maybe.
Is that my notes? I think I'm right about that.
Surprised.
I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but wow. Yeah, this movie is a lot,
yeah, there's a lot of information in this movie.
Okay, so then we go to the operation.
Yeah, so they're in like the theater.
Yeah, everyone can.
Which I've seen on like Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, it exists.
But I don't know if I've ever seen it. Anybody like an entire audience watching a C-section.
Right.
But I get that this is like a special case or whatever.
So the Dr. Blunt says. He kind of lays everything out.
Yes.
The importance of this, the severity of it. While she's still conscious, by the way.
Yes.
So she's hearing this, and he says, anyone having an itch, please scratch it now. And then there's a pause, and he's like, begin the cesarean. Jesus Christ. Like, he is so loud.
Start your engines. Close the vents. Shut off the air conditioner and shut off the heat.
If you have an itch, scratch it now. He does say, please scratch it now.
Yeah.
But this guy is no chill.
Yeah, no.
I wrote, at this point, I just want to follow the doctor around all day while he breaks news to people. I would be laughing my ass off.
Yes.
So just in case, when the baby's born, just so there's no confusion, he really doesn't beat around the bush at all.
Yeah.
He says, he's like, oh, look at him. And he's like, and he said something, and he's like, your baby was born with no immunity whatsoever. Like truly, don't get your hope. He might as well just say,
oh my God,
he's a goner. He might as well have just said that. Yep. Like, I mean, it's like he has no bedside
manner at all.
Like, terrifying.
Even talking to Todd, or Toddy.
Yeah.
They sometimes refer to him as, which has made me throw up in my mouth a couple times.
They also spell his name wrong, don't they? Isn't Todd Todd?
It should be.
It's just a Tod. It's odd. Yeah.
It's Audie.
Todd.
But even when he's talking to him, he's very blunt. Like throughout the whole movie, he's blunt. Talking to a kid.
He also really jumps the gun on what Todd might be feeling.
Yes.
He's like, why do you use that intercom, Todd? To display your power over us? To get back at us? It's like, he didn't say fucking shit. He didn't say anything. Why are you jumping to conclusions?
Oh my gosh.
He's
the only one who tells it like it is, though. I'll tell you, I'm gonna give him some credit because everyone tiptoes around this kid.
Fair.
The parents have done him no favors at all. You find out that he's never had a play date. He's never had friends over, except for one time, once a year, he invites the next door neighbor girl over for a birthday party.
And
they
Gina.
wonder why he's a fucking social inept kid.
Yeah.
Dude, help him out a little bit. He can't go out and make friends.
I know.
Bring friends in.
Yeah. Well, I have a random little note. It says Robert Reed is saying his lines so fast. It's crazy.
Oh, I didn't notice.
He talks really fast in this, and I don't know why. Maybe because he's a special guest star and he doesn't have to take his time.
He doesn't have to. No, he's fine. He has no time.
But I will say, what this movie gets right, and what really touched me the most, is when he's young, when Todd is a little boy. That kind of ripped my heart out. Because, and I'm not talking about when he's choking, which is fucking terrifying.
That is terrifying.
But when, like, they're playing ball with him, and you have to have the gloves in the machine, and they're tickling him. I'm like, this is so sad.
Yes. And,
very effective.
That kid looks exactly like John Travolta.
It's really good casting.
It blew my mind. I was writing down the note. He looks exactly like John Travolta.
Yeah.
And Matt is walking through the room and says, "Oh my God, that kid looks just like John Travolta."
Yes.
This little kid, so much so that I looked him up. His name is Seth Wagerman.
Okay.
Wagerman, Wagerman. And if you look him up, he actually resembles John Travolta now as an adult.
Wow.
He had the eyes. Yeah. He actually had the hair and all that. He looked so much like him. I was blown away.
Wow. Yeah, it's really good casting. And he's also a good actor.
And he's a cute little actor.
For a little kid.
It said he was 3, but I don't think he's 3. I think he's older than that in reality.
I think most kids would have been terrified to be in that box. Like, because, those shoot days are probably really long days. But
I agree. Like, holding the baby, that's what killed me. Yeah. When she comes in, after he was first born. Yeah. And she has to hold him by putting her hands inside these gloves. Yeah. And trying, like, you can never hold your baby close to your body.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that really
got to mention what it would do for the child. Like, they talk about that a lot, about that skin to skin contact is so incredibly important. Mm-hmm. And for him to have never, like, touched another person's skin or mother or anything, and then playing ball and all that. Yeah, heartbreaking. Yeah. So heartbreaking.
Robert Redford, oh my God. Robert Reed has really quite the line. Now, they're bringing him home. They figured out a way to bring the baby home, the child home into the house. And, it's a kind of a big deal. It's like, this has never really been done before. So there's some press there.
Of course.
Yeah. But instead of, like, I don't know, like being like really like a compassionate story for the news, Robert Reed's character decides to turn around while his son is right there in the box and he screams, "My son's not a freak!" And I wrote, no one said he was.
Well, now they all think he is.
Yeah, it's like, I wrote, no one said he was. Calm down. Like, that was a lot of emotion.
It was a lot. I think that he could have handled that a little bit differently. But, I mean, he started out okay. Like, all right, everybody step back, little space. And I could see him being nervous that, someone might bump a wire or something, right? Like, I could see that. Yeah. But, it seemed a little bit out of context a little bit because he's somewhat calm. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he turns around and he's like, "My son is not a freak."
Yeah.
Oh, my
Lord. It's overreacting.
You're
definitely
the freak,
overreacting.
buddy.
Yeah, he made it so much worse. Absolutely scary. At one point, the little boy is choking on the eye of a teddy bear, and they can't really get to him. They can't reach him because he's in this box. So they're like, tapping on the back and all this kind of stuff. But how scary would that be?
Oh my gosh, I couldn't even imagine
my God.
it. But then I wondered, like, how did you get the eye out? Like, how'd you get it out of, like, next? It's still lying next to him.
Oh,
you could put it right back in. He's a kid.
Oh my God, that's so true, Christina. You're such a good mom.
Thanks. No kids choking on a teddy bear's eye in my watch.
And he goes right from choking on the eye of a teddy bear to becoming 16 years old.
Yes.
They don't make 16-year-olds like that anymore.
Woo!
I don't know how.
Full-fledged man.
He is a full-fledged hairy man.
Yeah.
No one seems at all concerned that he somehow has a Brooklyn accent. In the middle of Ohio.
Well, he did say that he closes his eyes and he goes different places. So maybe he just goes to Brooklyn a lot. Yeah, he goes to Brooklyn a lot.
I wrote the hat's a bit much.
Yeah.
I think they tried to make him look younger.
Right.
But it made him look older. It made him look ridiculous.
Well, and at one point, like, I don't know if they understand. We talked about this. What movie? Like, I don't think he knows how this age child actually acts. I forget what movie we're talking about, but I felt like they had this problem with him because, yes, they're trying to make him look younger. He looks like a friggin' 30-year-old man. They put him in a little hat to make him look younger, but that doesn't work.
Not at all.
And then they have him do things like playing with a rocket ship, like in the sky. Is he supposed to be 6? Because that's what little 6-year-olds do. Like,
yeah,
even younger than that, probably. A 16-year-old does not do that.
Right.
And I'm sorry, yes, he has had very limited contact with the real world.
Right.
He doesn't really know how to play. But I'm pretty sure if he had that thing, if he's been only in this one environment and he had that toy, I'm pretty sure he's done playing with it that way. It doesn't make any sense. He is 16 years old.
We find out later that he's doing a bit in that room.
Yeah, we will get to that. We will absolutely be getting to that conversation.
But you're right. You know what? The rocket ship didn't bother me as much as him crying. Because he took little temper tantrums. And it's,
lots of tantrums.
It's got to be tough. It's got to be, I'm sure there's like a social anxiety. It's all this weirdness. It's all this stuff. But I think because he looks so much older than 16,
that's the problem.
It just lands a little different. It's not even his performance so much, but it's his look. I think he's just a little miscast. He
just looks too old. Yeah, he just looks too old. Or they should have made him a little bit older or something. So we get introduced to Glynis O'Connor's character, Gina.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, but I just didn't find her likable at all. Even at the end. This girl is an ass. She's a bitch. She's a shithead. I can't stand her. She's mean. I don't like her at all. And she's not even that pretty. Although, don't ask her that because she says that she is beautiful. Did you catch that?
Yes.
Do you think I'm beautiful? I do. This girl is manipulative. She has no heart in her at all.
She might as well have been raised by Dr. Blunt.
Oh my God, that would have been a great twist.
You always talk like that.
Well,
I love you. I love this. I love that. Why can't I do that? People will think you're dumb. That's sweet. That's really
everybody
nice.
thinks you're dumb, lady. I did feel like he was a little creepy with the stalking.
Yeah.
So every time I look up, he's looking right at me. She's talking to her friends. She looks up to the window and says, "He's always watching television." I'm like, what else is he fucking gonna do? He's stuck in this 20 by 20 cell.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want him to do?
Right.
And then every time I look up at him, he's looking right at me. The next scene, he's standing there with binoculars. So I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Oh, maybe, Gina, the question is, why are you always looking up at his window?
Seriously.
Yeah. Maybe she's doing some, although it's very, very easy to stalk him, I guess.
It's very, very easy. But yeah, this is my note with he's 16 years old playing with toy rockets. But then the next thing is Dr. Blunt visits him. And that's his speech. He's like, "You have the best excuse to avoid growing up."
Oh, he's so rude. Dr. Blunt is so rude to Todd. I'm not kidding. That whole intercom thing, I wrote...
That was the same scene, yeah.
Yeah, the doctor, once again displaying amazing compassion. He's making it about him. He's making it about himself. He's like, why, you need to get back at us? It's like,
why does he even have an intercom? He doesn't need it. Why does he have it?
I don't know. But that was the whole thing. It's he just wanted it. I just wanted it. Yeah, but I guess it was just very loud.
I want it now.
What classes? Yo, can I be excused? That's my John Travolta impression.
That was good. That was pretty well. It was actually that was more of a Vinnie Barbarino.
Yeah, true. Can you please be excused? It's not very different though.
No, it's not.
Christina, on a scale of 0 to 1, how much did you laugh at the fake mustache?
Oh my God, that was so funny. I was cracking up laughing.
Kids would
not.
And
I'm being sarcastic to the listeners.
Yeah, no one would have laughed at that.
It was the dumbest thing. Again, 16 years old.
Yeah.
He's doing the very first virtual learning.
Yeah,
very interesting, right?
Definitely Zoom learning.
There was a little bit of the COVID-19 correlation in this.
Completely.
Right? So, washing hands and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so they have a monitor that is in the classroom, and somehow he can see them too. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how that all worked,
closer. Yeah, that's. Oh my God, Christina, that's such a good point. So, yeah, it's just closed circuit TV. You shouldn't be able.
There was some sort of setup. We're supposed to believe that they can see each other.
Right, yeah.
So while the teacher has his back turned, people, watch out. Toddy is quite hilarious. He puts on fake glasses with the plastic nose.
Yeah. Chaos ensues.
Chaos.
The crowd
kids,
goes...
the other fellow students could not contain themselves. And then he put on a hat.
Yeah. And then forget it.
And thank goodness his timing is perfect that he just whips it right off just as the ever so clued in teacher, oh my God, turns around. It was so ridiculous. I'm like, so he's trying to get liked by these kids. I don't know if that's the way to do it.
No, same. It's hard.
I just don't know if that's the way to break the ice.
I feel like they would have ratted on him.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been like, oh, ha 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 ha. Please look at my first note at the top of this page.
No. Okay, it says Gina is atrocious.
Gina is atrocious.
She is one of the least likable
yeah.
characters I think we've ever revisited.
Why?
And we are supposed to like her somehow, right? Are we supposed to like her?
She's first of all,
she's
two
the
things.
girl next
door. The girl
door.
next door. And the girl. In fact, when you read, there's certain synopses that say the girl next door falls in love with a boy with immunity issues. I'm like, it's more like a boy with immunity issues falls in love with a monster.
Yes. Stalks and falls in love with a monster.
I mean, at the same time, it's to be fair to him. His pickings are slim. He can't leave the house. Mm-hmm. Of course, it's the girl next door. Who else would he like?
Well, I mean, his mother's taken, so...
Oh my God! I mean, he would date her later. Poor Todd, but wow, what a temper tantrum! This is after they kiss through the plastic.
That was that was after they kissed through the plastic. Is really towards the end of the movie. Are you talking about
the bet when she bets?
That was the whole.
Oh, the holding hands. Sorry, you're right.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about this scene too.
Yeah.
Ian, just a little side note. When I was growing up, I thought the two of them were like friends growing up. Do you have that memory at all? I felt like they were friends and I
didn't remember that.
I didn't know. I didn't realize that they had only seen each other. Like, they weren't really friends, and they only saw each other at, like, once a year at a birthday party. So anyway, aside from that. So 4th of July comes. She comes walking over, probably the first time she's spoken to him in years, to invite him over to a 4th of July party on the beach. She's wearing basically nothing. Mm-hmm. And he's like, makes no bones about that she's checking out her body. Once again, complete stalker. I don't blame him because he doesn't have the social interactions. I get that.
Right.
But he says yes, and they wheel him out in this. How big do you think it was? It was like too small for him. Mm-hmm. Big plastic box.
Yeah.
Talk about, first of all, no subtlety at all. Talk about making him look like
a
an
freak.
Idiot. Like a total freak. Right?
He's a freak, yeah.
But also, he's on the beach in the summer in this plastic box.
Sweating? Were you sweating his balls off? Oh my God. I had the same damn thought. The same damn thought.
So uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then he's just sitting there looking uncomfortable. Everyone's looking at him. No one attempts to talk to him. His parents are right next to him, which is even more embarrassing. And then she comes over and they make a bet that she can't hold to make her hold his hand during the fireworks.
Which, like, she's treating him like he's a beast. Like he's like this ugly guy. I'm like, girl, it's John Travolta. He's pretty cute.
Yeah, he is a cute guy.
He's way too good for you.
Yeah, for sure. But it's mean. It's cold-hearted. Yeah. And she pretends that she likes him. So, and he clearly likes her. Yeah. It was such a weird, awkward scene.
I didn't like it at all. And also, really going to exchange money for the bet right in front of him. Right.
And then she tells him, it was a dare.
You're so stupid.
It was a dare.
Oh my God, she's a monster.
She is such a monster.
But he doesn't exactly well, I did right. I can't imagine a more dangerous situation than a fireworks display.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Erupting at a bonfire while sitting while being helpless in a plastic tube.
Where the fuck? I said, Jesus, watch those fireworks and sparklers. What are you friggin' thinking?
There was truly a fireworks malfunction at this party. Because you saw it. They weren't shooting up. They were shooting across and stuff. It was wild.
People are dancing around with sparklers. Yeah. Oh,
and he can't do anything. He's defenseless in that bubble.
Defenseless.
But I will say this. When he realizes it was a bet, he really takes it to a different level. I want to go back to the hospital. And his parents say, okay.
Why can't he just go to his room?
Just go to your room. It's like you have a fucking room. What are you talking
about? I have to go to the hospital.
You have a room at the hospital. Like, and then his parents are like, oh, okay. I was like, do you know how much money it probably cost him to make that room in their house and to do all of these things for you?
Okay.
Tens upon tens of thousands of dollars. Forget the last 16 years of your life.
Right.
And because one girl played a joke on you, you want to go back to the hospital? His reaction
was really something. Rolling around, screaming.
It was a temper tantrum.
Oh my God. Enough. I really, really wish they had played more upon the result of the lack of social interaction. Because I feel like he's acting that way because he hadn't had all those social reactions. He doesn't know how to react in public. And I feel like it's never ever mentioned that was a side effect of this disease.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
There's no mention of that. I think Gina, the character of Gina, was designed to point out how behind he is in social norms. Yeah. Like when she's saying things to him like, why do you always talk like that? You sound dumb. When two people like each other, especially a boy and a girl, they hold hands. Like, the fact that he doesn't know these things, if he watches TV all the time, how does he really not know?
He should know this stuff.
Like the basic things. I mean, obviously, he doesn't know that girls often play jokes on handicapped people for a dollar bet. I mean,
$1 bet.
It's called the real world, buddy.
Jesus, look it up.
All right, so then he gets to the hospital or this other place, and he has a roommate. Do we have the roommate's name? So someone wrote this, and I didn't catch it. I don't have his name, but I might need to write it down in future Roomie Awards. Oh boy. Okay, what is it about this year, Brian? We have so many contenders for most annoying character. I can't even tell. Like, it's going to be a really, really rough race, and this guy really is in the running. He is so obnoxious. We find out he has a tumor, and he has to be in this thing because he has chemo, right? He's doing chemo, which is so interesting, right? In 1976. Yep. This is technically 59 because that's when it takes place. Oh no, you're right. 59. He's 16 now. Yep. He's 16. You are so right. Sorry about that. So he's supposed to be like in this room because he's doing chemo and he can't be exposed to germs. This kid is so obnoxious. He's talking a mile a minute. He wants to have a friend. Blah, 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 blah. What are you in here? Blah, blah, blah. How was it? Oh, how have you lived this long? Blah, blah, blah. And then when Toddy, who rightfully so, closes the curtains on him, he bursts into tears. Curls up in a ball, throws himself on a bed, bursts into tears. Are you fucking kidding me right now? So when I was digging into the notes and like some trivia and stuff, someone said, and I had already brought it back to the library. Someone's like, if he's been living in that room, why are his feet so filthy? Oh my God! The bottom of his feet were like, I guess, totally dirty. That's so funny. Yeah, it's supposed to be germs. Yep. But this kid reminded me, and it's so funny you mentioned the awards that we do, but like for most annoying because he reminded me so much of the girl from Ice Castles, and again, a 70s movie where that girl's like, oh, are you gay? Blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Blah, 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 blah. You know, blah, 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 blah. And everyone's a lesbian. Yeah. Yep, and then this guy's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. What do you do? And then he's like, the first thing I'm going to do when I get out of here is I'm going to get a hooker. I'm like, I'm glad you feel so comfortable. Oh, my God. I want to feel dirty. I want to grow a beard and feel filthy, rotten. Like, you are so fucking gross. You are the most disgusting thing. We don't want to hear this, and nobody wants to hear this. But
I want
they
it
share
so dirty. And then they start talking about masturbation
all the time. They masturbate all the time. These guys.
and
I'm not surprised. What else are you gonna do in a
right.
room?
I mean,
you know, but
not a bad way to waste time.
I don't think I've talked about jerking off with anybody ever in my life. But
I mean, I don't think so either.
But it's funny. I mean, I guess if you're a teenage boy and like
A stranger that you just met, sure. Why not?
Well, they're talking about sex and about being dirty and filthy and all this and going to hookers.
And then he's like, "Do you ever?"
You know.
And he goes, "All the time." And he goes, "Me too." And then you get a little jaunty little do like a little. I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? Aw, he made a masturbation friend.
They're also riding stationary bikes side by side in the shortest shorts you've ever seen.
He loved those shorts, boy. He wore those throughout the whole thing.
Well,
no shame there.
And did you notice?
Thank God that was the only scene he was in.
Oh, thank God, I know. And then Tom, there's a character Tom, and he's from Greece as well, the blonde guy.
What was he in Greece?
He was Putsy.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
The blonde kid. He was super cute. And then the blonde girl, there's a blonde girl who's like, "Come on, everybody, stand up."
Yeah.
And she's PJ Soul. She's from Halloween.
I thought she looked familiar. I figured it was somebody. Yeah.
Here's my note, and I don't remember, Christina. You'll have to help. I feel like you're going to remember this better than me. Okay. Gina, do you like my hair like this or like that? She's like, put on like a modeling show.
She's an idiot.
Yeah.
So before that scene, yes, I do remember that scene. I have a note about that. But before that, after the masturbation conversation, you see Gina and she runs up to Dad.
Yeah.
And she's like, "I want to help." She's like, "Oh," he's like, "What can I do for you, Gina?" Like, clearly pissed. "I want to help." He goes, "What's the catch?" Oh, yeah. I love how rude he was to her. Because she was a fucking bitch. There wasn't anything about her. She goes, and this proves it right here. She goes, "I really feel bad about, the 4th of July.
Yeah.
And I'm broke and could really use the money." Oh my.
She's a monster.
She is such a monster. Like, leave it in, I want to help. And you shouldn't even get money for this. You should be doing this out of the kindness of your heart. You should do
the nice neighborly thing.
Right.
She forgets, like, she is his next door neighbor. He can't fucking move.
Is it so hard for her to... She should be doing this anyway.
I agree. Her parents should be making her help.
Exactly. Yeah, the parents in this, not good parents. Yeah. Any of them. But is it really that hard to walk up to the door? Just drop them on the doorstep.
Yes. Yeah.
You don't even have to go in. But no, she needs the money. I want to know how much he's paying. Oh, he's paying her $1?
I mean,
$1 a book
and what's so funny, Christina, is when you set it up that way, it's truly like these ulterior motives. Like, she holds his hand for money. She helps the dad for money.
Yeah.
Like,
she sleeps with strangers for money.
What?
I'm just kidding. That's further in her future. That's her future.
She jerks off the chemo patient for money. Yeah. She's the hooker, it turns out, in a deleted scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Now, this was a jolt, and I had to rewind. Oh, no, okay. Sorry. No, please.
No, I'm just, so.
I don't interrupt you. What's really funny is this thing was like 90 minutes long, and like, it's every minute there was something to comment on. Happening. It was so crazy.
So then she goes to see him.
Yeah.
And he does say, "Well, how much is he paying you?" Whatever.
Right.
She's like, "Well, I was going to do it for nothing, but..." And
she wasn't going to.
And then they both laugh and laugh and laugh. Like, it was the funniest freaking joke. All is forgiven. Like, no.
But she wasn't going to do it for free.
No, she said that she was, but it was a lie.
That was a lie.
It was a lie. She's lies. She's a filthy, rotten, lying whore. She should hook up with the friend because she's dirty and gross.
Yeah, she is a horseback riding.
But I still, well, that's why she horseback rides.
Oh my God! I swear that's how I broke my hymen, Dad.
That's right.
Oh my God!
Oh my gosh! So then he still gets creepy, sitting by the window with the binoculars. But then they're both such babies. He's pouting, then she pouts, and he pouts again. It's like, Jesus Christ, you guys are supposed to be 16 years old. Pull it together.
Yeah.
Pull it together. And then I was glad. I said I was really glad that he charged her for tutoring.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yep.
But here's the scene that she talked about. I said she's so obnoxious.
Yeah.
She puts her hair up.
Yeah.
How do you like it better? Up or down? You think I'm beautiful, don't you?
Oh my God.
So do I.
Oh.
And then she starts asking him to cheat on her test.
Yep.
So it was after she said, "Do you like?" So do I. And she kind of giggles.
She is.
And then she's like, "I want an alternative way of this tutoring," and she sets it up for him to cheat.
I don't know if she is so evil.
Worst character.
She's all about herself.
Yep.
Nothing is from the goodness of her heart.
No, she has no goodness in her heart. None.
Nothing. This is the scene I was going to talk about, and this is a jolt to the point where I rewound it. I'm like, I just want to make sure I didn't miss this.
Okay.
Because Todd, I think this is the mom. Mom and Dad are talking to Todd. Todd, are you mad at us for bringing you into the world? Todd, yo, did you have a choice? Dad.
Yo.
Dad. Yes.
Yes, son, we did.
Yes, we did have a choice. Holy shit, ABC TV movie of the week.
That was very
Holy
powerful.
This
is why he got special guest star notoriety.
Because he put his reputation on the line.
He did. By
he
saying
went from
that
Mr. Brady to Mr.
Mr. Abortion.
Mr. Abortion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine your parents telling you.
Yeah. That's
You're
right.
like, Mom and Dad, why did you even bring me into this world?
Well, it wasn't my idea. So.
Yeah. Well, we flipped a coin. We really weren't sure. Your mom really wanted to avoid
If I knew how much it was going to cost.
Listen, I wasn't crazy with the idea either. Your mom insisted on having you. Oh my God, what does it do to someone?
I mean, there was a 4-in-1 chance.
And he's... And he's so, and also too, he has shown zero maturity that he can even handle this news.
Oh my God, it was ridiculous. And there was like nothing follow up. Like there was no emotion after that.
So bizarre.
Like nothing. It was crazy.
This is a hard watch.
Then he was like, "Go on vacation, Mom and Dad." After he finds out, like he's depressed. They have this conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go on vacation. Wouldn't you be a little nervous that he was gonna like kill himself after that conversation?
Oh, completely. I wouldn't have left him.
Like,
the timing of that.
Bye.
The timing of that is so weird to me that they would have felt okay. And then we meet the nurse, though.
Anne Ramsey.
Anne Ramsey from the Goonies.
Looking good.
Yep.
Yeah. Didn't even recognize her at first.
I wish she had more to do, though. She barely spoke.
Well, she had a little drink. But yeah, she barely spoke. I loved... One thing that made me really chuckle was when he's like trying to convince them to take the big bubble out. And they're walking. He's like, "All right, down there, my sleeves." that made me laugh. I remembered that.
Yes, I did too. And I will say, to this movie's credit, they don't shy away from how inconvenient that getup is.
Yes.
Like it's even from when he was a little kid as well.
Yep.
Like they don't shy away, and I think a weaker movie would have he would have just been at the beach. He would have just been outside. Like, and then we would have been like, how the hell did he get outside? Like, I am so glad they showed the struggle of actually moving this box around. Yeah. Because he can't help.
He had to plug it in. And
they're also lifting, forget the fucking box, they're also lifting John Travolta in a box.
Right.
I mean, that's a lot. And I really give the movie a lot of credit for not shying away from the logistics of actually having that situation be part of your life.
Yeah, that was very good. And this was based loosely on a true story.
Yeah, but he died very young though.
Yeah.
I think at 12 or something. I don't think he saw his 16th birthday.
Yeah. The horseback riding scene when he's in the bubble and she's running, riding around him. I remember this so clearly. It was terrifying to me.
Yeah.
As a child, I saw the movie a bunch of times. I was so afraid the box, the bag, whatever it is, would be tipped over, or a hole was. I always felt like when I was watching this as a child, I always felt like there was going to be a hole that was popped into it.
Christina?
And he was going to shrivel up and die.
when that scene was happening, I'm like, oh my God, that's right. The horse knocks the box over. I remember it so much darker. I remember it like,
and now here's where the music was a good choice.
Okay.
Like, this was a good choice music. It was very suspenseful music. She got very close. Like, I'm giving that horse a lot of credit.
Horse or well, but listen, I give the horse much more credit than her because she just doesn't care.
She doesn't give a shit.
She doesn't give a shit about him at all.
I'm telling you, she does not have a heart. She has a heart,
thinks only about
herself.
It's
this crumpled up brown thing that's hanging out. It's not a real heart. It was terrible. He was born without an immunity system. She was born without a heart. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
That's so good.
But he doesn't even see it. Mr. Brady sees it.
There are, so I have this note right now, and it says, she definitely is giving bratty, whiny, giggly, temperamental teenager, but I just feel like she's really only giving the worst parts of being a teenager. Like, the worst attributes.
For sure.
Because kids like that exist, but there's always a balance. They're not like that 24/7.
No.
But it's
she's
like, she's
always
awful.
She's
awful.
selfish.
She just makes fun of him. Like, even the stuff where, that's the blonde guy's her boyfriend, Tom, right? And, they're down by the boat, and she's saying, rude things. Like, she's not a nice person at all.
Even Tom is a nicer person than she is.
Yeah.
Like, at least he has some restraint. And that's something that I was surprised about. I expected
more bullying,
more mean, more almost dangerous situations with him.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I thought they got in a fight. I remembered him losing air, but I thought it was because they fought. My memory was they fought and he unplugged him or something.
Okay.
It was something like that, but he was actually I felt he was a better depiction of a typical teenager. He was kind of moody.
But we talked about this with Mask, too, and I do wonder, how that kid picked on Rocky Dennis in that scene. And I was like, would he really do that? Like, I feel like when you're younger, I don't know. I mean, I'm talking to someone who's bullied, but, I think that if someone is in, a contraption like that, I think it has to be a little jolting for a kid. Yeah. I don't know if bullying would have been my first approach to someone like that.
Right.
And also, say with the Rocky Dennis thing, it's like when someone looks that way, it's going to be a little jolting, a little frightening.
Yeah.
So it's like, when Danny... in The Karate Kid is bullied, you get it. He's the new kid. It makes perfect sense. But there's something.
He's obnoxious too.
Christina, that's a revisit. People need to check out. Christina feels differently. But I feel like that makes much more sense. But when people pick on someone with, say, a disability or a handicap, that's when I'm like, really?
That's just a different.
It's different.
That's a different human being.
It's you can hold back a little bit. But I thought it was. But I was. In my memory, I felt he was more bullied, but he really wasn't.
But no, he really wasn't. And I mean, he kind of brought it on himself, this whole thing, when he was, I'm going to challenge you. I'm stronger than you. Dude, what are you doing?
Well, listen, who has the last laugh? Because the biggest hole in this whole movie is the fucking $10 bill. What is germier than a $10? What is germier than cash?
I know!
I saw it happening, and I'm like, wait, is that how he dies? Is that how he dies?
It should be how he dies. And he had the last laugh. I thought the same thing. I'm like, what? Why doesn't that need to be sterilized?
There are a few things dirtier in this world than money, than cash.
I don't think there's anything dirtier.
So, maybe cell phones. But it's
maybe a kiss, but we'll get into that as well.
Oh, boy.
But yes, I'm sorry, we're kind of jumping all over the place, but
it's around that same time.
It's all around that same time.
Yeah, the movie.
So he was the horseback riding thing.
Yeah. The spacesuit.
And then he gets into the spacesuit, and then from that point, I'm like, why isn't he always in the spacesuit? He has all this freedom. He's never been able to walk around his house. He's never been able to walk outside
or hug
his mom or dad or anything. Why wouldn't he constantly be in that spacesuit? Fine, go back into your little house to recharge or go take a nap or something. But I don't know. I would be walking around. I mean, standing up straight. That was kind of crazy.
But yeah, isn't money the germiest thing ever? Good luck with that, Todd.
Oh,
but then my next note though is the end, where it's like I wrote, "Go Todd, go." He's really living on the edge. He's touching trees.
Oh my God. Would you do that though? I feel like I would do that.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
Completely.
So
yeah.
I feel like is there anything else we want to talk about here?
Oh yeah. I know I jumped.
No, it's okay.
But I legit remembered the horse knocking the box over.
Oh, the kiss in the plastic.
Yeah.
It was sweet, but it was really gross.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and then so about the suit. Sorry.
Okay.
I thought it was so weird. Okay, you're putting this on for the first time, and now you're gonna go to school. You've never been able to walk around anywhere. The first place you're gonna go is school.
Well, also too, like he's really risking it all because he walks into the middle of a football field, knowing that he needs to be charged up against the oxygen.
Not very responsible with this thing.
Yeah.
First day on the job.
He
first
almost
day.
dies. He really almost blows it.
And even she, heartless woman over there.
Yeah.
Even she's like, watch out for your air. He's doing push-ups and stuff. And, believe it or not, she was right.
Yeah.
I remember that scene, too, when of course, I thought it was because of Todd. But, I mean, not Todd, the boyfriend, Tom. I remember that, losing the air. That was, like, super scary. But, yeah, I mean, you have strict instructions. You know how much time you have. I mean...
Yeah, it was crazy. So, and also the suit it really didn't look very comfortable. And it looked like almost like carpet in a way. It was a little, and I don't know if it's the quality of the DVD I was watching, but I'm like, does not look comfortable. It looks way too hot.
Well, does it have to be bright orange? He's not sticking out enough. Can't it be like a little bit more neutral?
See, from when I watched it, it looked brown. It looked like a brown carpet.
Oh, see, it looked bright orange when I was watching
really?
it.
Oh, that's interesting. But yeah, so then at the very end, he's touching trees. But then the movie does something I think is a really poor choice. They give us his point of view as he's approaching Gina, and it looks like a goddamn horror movie.
Well, yeah, and he's been stalking her all this time.
Right.
That would have been a great little twist, but he fucking murders her. He finally has a chance to just stab her.
Seriously, yeah. But also, he didn't wake up his parents. Do you think because they would have just yelled at him and told him to...
I'm giving him that credit.
Yeah.
But he didn't do because of that. You would think... I mean, my first desire would be to touch my mom. Like, honestly, like... oh my God, Brian. Stop. Jeez, Brian. That is really wrong.
You scared the hell out of her.
Like, hello, mama. But I will say, that step...
Yeah. Oh, I wrote, go, Todd, go.
He was... And again, he had that conversation with Dr. Blunt.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my God! I didn't even write that note, probably because it was so gobsmacked. Mm-hmm. This doctor, am I cutting you off?
No, okay. Go ahead.
This doctor has been with him every step of the way. It's like when he ever said, "Well, you might be able to."
It's like, what did you just tell me?
He is the fucking Glenda of Oz right now. It's like you're gonna keep me in this for the rest of my life.
How about? Can we try it?
Can we try it? Try it for 5 minutes.
Can we try it
with an
for a couple
ambulance
minutes
nearby
under doctor's supervision?
What is this doctor's goal? Just keep him in this box?
Well, he does talk to Tokyo and the Soviet Union quite a bit. Maybe he just likes his connections. Tokyo has his new advances.
Oh my God in heaven!
But yeah, the conversation was really.
I was like, yeah, you could try. I'm like, excuse me.
You know what, Todd? All these years, we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
He basically says that.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
We don't know what will happen.
We don't know what will happen.
Because he's like, well,
will
am I going to just die immediately?
Yeah.
Am I going to just we don't know.
We don't know. But why take a chance? Why take a chance and enjoy your life when you can just live in a plastic box?
Just stay right here.
For the rest
we'll let you know when we are 100% cured.
Heavens to Betsy.
Crazy. But then I remember him standing at that door, and I remember so clearly, just that powerful moment. I'm like, and you don't know what he's going to, I'm like, oh my God, is he going to die?
Mm.
Is he going to die? I was actually waiting. He doesn't do it, but I was waiting for him to step over on this rewatch. Step over the line and then just be like I was waiting for, please don't take a deep breath. Please don't take a deep breath.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I mean, then the walking out of the house, touching all the things. I really feel like I would do that same thing. Touching the leaves, touching the grass, touching the tree. It reminded me of Tangled. Did you ever see Tangled?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, when she first finally touches the grass and that beautiful song. That was lovely. All of that. But then for him to walk over to her, I'm like, oh my God. And then he touches her face. Here's the thing too. I looked at this so differently through a middle-aged lens.
Yeah.
Every moment I'm thinking to myself, this could be his last moments.
Completely.
As a child, I felt like he stepped over. He's good.
Yeah.
He's good. He's done. He doesn't have to live in that box anymore. That was like the test. He's good. This time watching it, I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, like these are his last moments on Earth. And it really touched me.
Oh.
It really, really touched me.
Yeah.
The touching of the leaves, touching of the trees. Yeah. And then when he ever touched his face, one thing, did you notice the size of his goddamn hands?
No.
He got gigantic hands against her face. I swear to God, he could have like covered her entire face with his humongous hands. I don't know if it was like the angle or what, but it was so funny. I'm like, oh my God, he has gigantic hands.
Funny.
So then he's like, it was softer. And then he kisses her. And I'm like, oh God. Talk about, okay, yes. The $10 bill, super jerky. Yeah. Kissing someone, I mean, please don't do that. He's never
felt human skin before.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really jumping the gun.
It's really jumping the gun. And then he hopped on the horse and he goes away. And that's the end of the movie, which is so bizarre. So it does leave it up to you to say, okay, well, is he going to survive?
Clearly something was going on with me when I was watching this as a child because I remembered him dying. And I remembered the horse knocking the box. Yeah. So I think, but I did remember him dying. But then when the horse, I was like, oh, that is how, it is how it ends. I don't know why, but when I was younger, I felt kind of almost the opposite. I was like, oh my gosh, like, oh, he's going to die now. And this is like his last hurrah. Mm-hmm. Like what you're saying now.
Yes, I felt it
this time around, I was like, oh, this is actually filled with a lot of hope. So very different, very opposite. Yeah.
Yep, very opposite.
But riding off on a horse, I just feel like, I don't know if that would be the first thing I've ever done, ever. I don't know if that would be.
Well, he's talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not in that situation. I don't know what I would do first.
I mean,
I think you're right that he didn't wake up his parents because they would have sent him back.
Absolutely would have done that. Yeah.
So maybe he was just trying to do what he felt like he wouldn't be able to do. So I'm going to walk over, touch the girl, kiss the girl, and go for a horseback ride before they tell me not to.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Man. And then it just... The music plays and the credits go. And
truly riding off into the sunset.
Into the sunset. Or the sunrise, I think.
Sunrise. Christina, the big question. More, less, or about the same?
My God. It is a tough question because I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed it, but it was truly the nostalgia of it. I mean, it has to be a little bit less. Only because I loved it so much. But I loved rewatching it. I really loved rewatching it. And the acting, obviously questionable. She was so terrible.
Yeah.
It kind of ruined the love story aspect of it for me. And the parents were really bad parents. I mean, I just felt like they really dropped the ball on a lot of the shit.
They also kind of go missing for a big chunk of the movie, too.
Big
chunk. It's like, I don't know, they're giving him a lot of autonomy suddenly for no reason. I'm conflicted because I would almost say the same or more. It is very entertaining. I don't think it's very good, but wow, is it entertaining? And it kept me watching. I was
all in.
Yeah, it's like, and the movie is surprising in some ways that I was like, oh, I didn't remember that like that. And it's really, it almost has an edge, which I appreciate it.
Yep.
It's not great, but it's entertaining.
And it's so different from any other story you've ever watched. Yeah. It's so very unique in that.
It is not a wasted 90 minutes.
No, it's not. Yeah.
You honestly, see young John Travolta. I recommend it. Yeah, Robert Reed doing something a little different.
Even the acting, is pretty good.
And I love those early scenes when he's a baby and a child, and I thought those were so sweet. And
it moves.
It does move pretty quick.
It moves pretty quickly.
And again, I like the way they never shy away from the logistics of truly having to adapt your life to a child with this challenge.
Yes. So, and you mentioned the person. I wrote his name down. David something who had this.
Oh, I didn't write.
So his name is David Vetter.
Okay.
And I have two. It was inspired by David Vetter and Ted DeVista.
Okay.
And I believe they both had this
same challenge.
Yeah. I don't know to what degree it was inspired by. Like, I don't know if they lived in something like this or whatever.
I think
but I will say they had
Yeah.
Oh, do you think he was older? Maybe?
I think Vedder was the one that passed away young.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I read that it's really like that he didn't make it. I think he passed at 12. I don't know where that's coming from, but I remember reading that somewhere.
Yeah, but they had a criticism of the movie in that the spacesuit part of it.
Yeah.
They questioned he wouldn't have been able to go right back into his little house thing because of all the germs that would be on it.
Oh.
Similar
okay.
to COVID when you had to wash
Yep.
everything, remember? So, but I don't really know much more about that.
Okay.
I was kind of relying on you to have some of that information, but apparently
I will say this. So Travolta, Carrie was 1976.
And this was 76 as well?
This was, 76. And then Saturday Night Fever was 77. Grease was 78. But Welcome Back, Kotter was 75 to 79.
Okay, so he was
So he
in
was already in Welcome Back,
Kotter
Kotter before
yeah.
this. Emmy nominations, film, sound editing, writing, and then Diana Hyland posthumously won for Best Supporting Actress in a TV movie.
She was okay in this.
I know. I think maybe because she passed, they wanted to honor her. But
I would like to see who she was up against. And she wasn't in it that much. I just didn't feel like it was a super strong performance.
She was 41 when she passed away. Very sad.
That was very sad. We revisited 8 is Enough as well, and we talk a little bit about that.
She passed away March 27th, 1977. This movie came out November 1st, 1976.
Yeah.
So six months. Yeah, like you had said that.
Yeah, well,
before,
that's what they said. They that they dated for 6 months until her passing. So
I have a match game.
I also have a match game.
Why don't you start?
And I will be going first because last week you completely blew off my question. You forgot I even had a question.
Oh my god.
So I will be doing them first. Maybe forever.
Oh my god.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
All right. Poor Toddy.
No.
His mom and dad decided to be a little more eco-friendly.
Oh.
So instead of being the boy in the plastic bubble, he became blank. Oh my goodness. So poor Toddy, his mom and dad decided to be more eco-friendly. So instead of being the boy in the plastic bubble, he became
the boy in the brown paper bubble.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm going to take it as a match, sort of. I said the boy in the paper bag.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
So, I mean, you said bubble, but I said
sorry, we're brown paper. Sorry. But that is hilarious. And also give him some privacy since he jerks off all the time.
Yeah, well, thank God he had that one curtain.
Here's mine.
All right, let's hear it then. Oh, I hope you could shut that intercom off if he was masturbating all the time.
Oh my god. Oh, it's literally oh my god.
Oh my god.
Of all this... All right, so after their big horseback ride, they did consider it for him to go back into the bubble.
Okay.
But Gina, having gotten a little taste of Travolta, they started dating.
Gross.
But of all the sporting events for Gina to bring Todd and his bubble to, why on earth did Gina bring him to blank?
Kind of a long...
Oh, no, I was just making a joke. Here's the question. Is, of all the sporting events to bring Todd and his bubble to, why did Gina bring it to blank? Ding! Ding! Of all the sporting events, why did Gina bring Todd to blank?
Archery.
Yes! Archery competition! Yes! Oh my god!
Amazing.
2 for 2!
That was, yeah.
Rarely
you know what?
happens.
We've been doing pretty good lately.
Have we?
Yeah, I feel like we've been doing pretty good I forget, what was last week's? Sister Act? We had a couple of matches.
We did. And I just want to say, so the only way to ever see Boy in the Plastic Bubble is from your local library. You have to request it.
And you know what? Libraries are awesome.
I love my library.
Please visit your library.
Support your local library.
Support them.
And definitely
it's
watch
well worth it.
It's really
oh my
worth
God.
it.
It's so well worth it. Grab some friends.
Yeah, it is not perfect. It has a lot of cringy, funny moments, unintentionally funny moments, but its heart's in the right place, and it is just so funny with that 70s sensibility. It is hilarious.
And the bluntness, Dr. Blunt, I love that.
Dr. Blunt, I want to see a movie just of him and his patients.
Yes, and you know he was in Pretty Woman.
Oh, yeah, and is he also in Trading Places?
Is that who he is?
Ralph Bellamy.
Oh,
It's
I
Ralph
think he was
Bellamy.
in Trading Places. That's right. We have not revisited that one
I've
yet.
never seen it.
We did revisit Pretty Woman.
Yeah, and he's
But
in
he
that.
was like the nice old man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see him.
Right.
But anyway, so that, my friends, was The Boy in the Plastic Bubble.
And that's it for us and for this episode of Old Roommates.
Thank you for listening. Please remember to follow us on Instagram or YouTube, where we have our episodes as well as a little extra.
And if you have any questions about our show, any suggestions for movies we could revisit, reach out to us at oldroommatespod@gmail.com.
Thanks again for listening.
This is Brian.
And this is Christina. Until next time.